Good morning, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome. Welcome to this Monday. It's what is it? Columbus Day? Indigenous Day? People's Day? What day is it? Well, whatever day it is, I wish you a happy one, and I thank you for allowing me to be part of it. Guys, I did a video about Charlie Kirk and some of his arguments, and somebody said something to me about Charlie Kirk never said that temperament was created at conception, but he did. So that's something that we're going to talk about, and we're going to break down a few of these interviews because there's more than one side to things. And I know Charlie is not here to debate with us anymore. We can still carry on the conversation. I think that that's pretty important. So let's go with I think this is a turning point. What was it? Yeah, an argument for turning point. And this woman came up to talk to Charlie.
Charlie, hey, I'm not a disagreement, and I wasn't even planning on speaking, but I had to say something about the girl that was just asking about rape. And I hope everyone is listening, especially the ones in the back. And I've never said this publicly, so I'm shaking like a leaf. I was raped when I was 17. There was 19.
Now, guys, that's incredibly sad, horrible story. And there are a lot of women. So here's the argument. And I'm sure a lot of you already know what the argument is. The argument is it's women's choice, right? That it's pro-choice, that they can decide up until a certain point when to have an abortion under certain stipulations for certain reasons. What Charlie Kirk is saying is, nope, there's never a reason for abortion. And regardless of any situation that anybody encounters, the human being, the soul, everything is developed at conception. And after that, it's basically unaliving. So here's a woman that has encountered a horrible act.
1988. Everybody I knew told me to get rid of it. I had my baby. I'm sorry. I had my baby, and he was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
So she decided to have her child, even though everybody said, get rid of it, get rid of it. It was her personal choice. She wanted the baby. Obviously, she wanted the baby. There are people that don't want the baby. There are people that don't want to go through that. There are people that would love to forget about what happened. Maybe she is somebody that wanted to forget about what happened, but for whatever reason, wanted the baby. It's still, in my opinion, personal choice up until a certain point. And that is when the doctors say, when science says, not, and I'm a believer in God. I am a firm believer. But there is a science that tells us when the embryo becomes a baby. And I think it's at that point we might need to consider, I don't know enough to tell you when is the best time to abort. And abortion should never be a form of birth control. It should just never be a form of birth control. So, but nobody should be forced to carry an unwanted child, period. That's my feeling.
Oh, God. And I just wanted to say there's other options. And I'm telling you, in 89, there were not many options. But it is. I was shunned by people in my church. I was shunned by family and friends. And I still had it in me. God
So
put
let me
it in
tell
me.
you something. Let me just say this, because Charlie was a son of God, and he says it. What church would shun somebody because they were taken advantage of? Like, what, that needs to be checked right there. The church that would make somebody feel bad for something that happened to them.
You're having this baby.
So villainizing the victim, right? That's a good idea. What church are you part of? That's not one that I believe in.
And so, no, not the answer at all.
What is your
It wasn't the answer for you, ma'am.
message to a young lady right now watching on TikTok or Instagram that might think that the only option.
No, reach out for help. There's so many.
Well, first of all, that's not a fair statement, Charlie, because you're insulting people when you make that comment. You know, when they think abortion's the only answer. So the first thing you have to do is you have to go back to the home, and you have to make it possible so that people can make a living, so that people can also make a living, go to work, and come home and be a parent and not work 2 or 3 jobs, to where it's completely impossible to be a parent because you're so fucking exhausted from just trying to make ends meet. So that's the first thing, is that we have to make enough money so that when we go to work, we're able to go to work for 8 hours, make an honest living, make our bills, and then we can parent. And then when we parent, we could have a relationship with our children. But while we're out working like a dog and a dog and a half, and then maybe 2 dogs, we have to count on TikTok, I guess, and YouTube and Facebook and all the social media to raise our kids, because unless we put more time in the day, I don't know how that's going to work out.
More options. My son's 35, for God's sakes, and there's so much more help out there. Go to your local church. Go to,
the church that you went to that shunned you? Wait a minute, huh? Say what?
The pregnancy crisis centers in your local neighborhood.
There's 2.
A pregnancy crisis center. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit. Everybody's got a story, yes. So this was RAPE, more than likely a violent act, I would think. Is that the same person to go to as the person to go to when you say, oopsie, I just forgot to take my pill? No. Why should they? No.
Of them here in Tallahassee.
So your son, who's now 35,
yes,
I'm sure is living a great life and doing good.
Yes.
Talk about what your life would be if you would have had that abortion.
I probably wouldn't be here because I was doing some stupid crap, but I was raped, and I conceived him during that rape, and he knows that. He's known it his whole life. His biological father has nothing to do with him. He has nothing to do with him. I married the most wonderful man when he was 11. We got married. We had another child. So
Praise
he
God.
has his sister, and that completed my family. But never once in my mind did it occur to me to kill him. Never.
Okay. Well, there's terminology there. And that's, when you use the word kill, I can see that. I think that when you have the procedure done before a certain age or time frame, that it's really not considered that. I mean, I get it. It's all really a matter of how you look at things, right? But it should be the choice of the person looking at things, in my opinion.
And
praise the Lord. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
And God bless you for that testimony.
Thank you.
Because every human being is made in the image of God.
Yes,
every
absolutely.
single human being. God bless you. Thank you, ma'am.
Charlie.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Okay, so that's easy for him to say, of course, but it's not easy for everybody who's lived through a violent situation like that, or even somebody who says, wow, I don't have it in me. I don't want to, there's so many, we would, again, when the argument is we can't let anybody into this country because we have to take care of our country first. Okay. If we're to believe that argument and go with that theory, then why do we want unwanted babies from the start when we have a bunch of them that we need to take care of first? I'm just asking, where are they going, these unwanted children? To people that ABUSE them? That's what I'm trying to understand. If the theory exists with taking care of our country because of the people in our country, we need to get that right, then why are we having unwanted children come to parents that don't want them, into a society that can't pay for the ones that are already there? We have a homeless issue in our country. we have problems in our country, so why not just have more children that are unwanted on top of it? When you figure that one out, you got the answer for that one. You can tell me why we can't let immigrants into the country, because to me it's like the same difference. And I know some of you are saying, no, it's unaliving. I don't believe it's unaliving at a certain point. And here's this: some people coming over to this country, if we send them back, it will be unaliving. That's just the truth. So
a card.
The woman? Of course. No. What we're what we're talking
okay,
about is
so
like
this argument here I thought was interesting. This argument here with Charlie is how no woman should ever have to pay for a meal or go halvesies or anything like that. And again, it comes down to, in my opinion, finances. Some people are in better financial state than others. So his traditional sense doesn't really work in this world anymore. And that's fine, because his traditional sense also squishes the ideas of women being equal to men. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't want to really feel that way. But anyway, let's talk about this.
oh, we're going to alternate. Like, well, what's your serious? And she wants to take you out to something for a nice dinner. And you might, by the way, if you have the intent to marry, you're already like kind of blending finances. Like, I get that psychologically. But like, if you're like, oh, we'll take turns. Like, oh, well, you pay this time, I pay this time.
What's your advice to a girl who the guy she's currently seeing, he says that?
Oh, do not marry that man.
But here's the thing. I feel like they should always
break up.
offer.
Great.
But they should offer. They should pull out the credit card.
The woman? Of course not.
Just to offer.
No.
It's a nice gesture.
No, by the way, no. This is feminism. Feminism is that you have to be this like self-independent.
Okay, so this might just be common courtesy. If times change, and we're supposed to believe that times have changed, and then times change, and sometimes women make it in the world better financially than their male counterpart. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes maybe there is a Mr. Mom at home. So I don't think he's very black and white. It's a gray world. It's a gray world. Some people need help. What if somebody was unable to work for legitimate reasons? I mean, there's, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so let's listen to this.
This is a nice gesture. It's you trying to be like egalitarian. No, you as woman should want to be provided for. In fact, you should have an expectation that you as a woman are so important and so critical and so necessary and beautiful that it shouldn't even be a question.
Do you view democracy as an American value, something that's very important to the fabric of this country?
No.
So I want to tell you something. So what he's saying is that women, so that would be me, should want to be waited on and provided for. Like, there is a place for us. See, I disagree with that. You need to worry about your place for you. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I know that Charlie is past, but any man or any, even another woman, it's not your, it's not up to you and or your responsibility, nor did we give it to you. I certainly didn't give it to you to speak for me. So I don't think that that's anything that anybody should be talking on. Again, why are we taking away, or why are we trying to blanket people with labels and having them put into what things should be good for, you know, or what they're needed for, and how they should see the world and what they should expect from the world? I disagree with that.
Where is democracy in the U.S. Constitution?
Oh, okay. So are you?
No, hold on. Where is the word democracy?
I don't think the word democracy.
Right.
Yeah.
But Your
Yeah.
point, the whole point you're making, is
hold
that
on. So,
a
but no.
baby.
Since we're doing pop quiz on like human development, so when exactly do?
So this girl comes up and she's all hostile, but this is the argument in which he says temperament and who we are is decided, or it is made upon conception.
Heart waves begin in utero?
You know that, but you don't know the four.
Hold on, no, so tell me when heartbeat.
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know.
No.
So wait, hold on. So you're trying to say I know more about the woman reproductive system than you do?
I am a woman, so yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, but the point being is we could both go back and forth of like independent trivial facts when it comes to the woman's reproductive system. But here's something we all know, because God wrote this on the human heart of every individual, as it says in the book of Romans. We know deep down it's wrong to murder a baby.
You're not a baby. It's not a baby.
Okay, well let's play this out. What is it then?
It is an embryo, which is not a baby.
Well, okay,
so here we get into it.
So it's a fertilized embryo.
Correct, which is not a baby.
So at what point does it become a baby?
When it is born.
Oh.
I don't agree with abortions up to full-term abortions.
Well, hold on, but you said it becomes a baby when it's born.
Yes.
Then why would you have a?
Okay, so she obviously, I'm pretty sure misspoke there, but anyway, that's okay that she misspoke there. He's gonna focus on that. No offense against Charlie, but he's a debater, so he's gonna look for any weakest link to get into something, even if it means to divert from topic.
Abortion limits before it's born. I thought it's just an embryo. So embryo rights?
No, the embryo rights aren't a thing.
But then where would you draw a line for abortion then, and why, and under what moral standard?
There are medical reasons not to have an abortion.
No, that's not the question. That's not the question.
You just asked me why would I not have an abortion full term for medical reasons.
Okay, so at 29 weeks, the baby is nearly fully developed, can recognize the mother's voice, has a heartbeat, has brain waves. Is it okay to abort that baby?
It's not okay, but you're going to say it's okay to have an abortion then. I don't understand what you're trying to say. It's not okay to have an abortion.
She's not a very good debater. She's kind of weak. He's pretty patient with her.
Ever? How
Correct.
about 3
Yes.
weeks in?
Correct. No abortion. Correct.
Why?
Well, because your life started at conception.
It did not, though. It did not.
Well, hold on. So let's play this out. So who are you as an individual? From your skin color to your eye color to your likes, your dislikes, from your temperament to your everything.
I am not an embryo. I'm a person.
Hold on a second. But it started with something called deoxyribonucleic acid. And your own individual DNA started at the point of egg and sperm meeting. That's where your journey started. And so from that.
So, okay. Now, there's a lot to unpack there, you'd have to say. I don't believe that everything comes out of that second, sorry guys, where sperm and egg meet. I just don't. I think that the way the child is going to look, the stature of the child, everything physical, I think. I am not 1000% sure at that moment that everything else gets connected to it. I don't know. But I would say that temperament is something that comes along. I mean, then how do you explain the difference in siblings? If they have the same DNA as they obviously don't even have the same DNA, even though it's shared by parents. They share some of the same DNA, but obviously if you were to look up a person by DNA, you would find a very specific person who would be that person. So, excuse me, it doesn't mean, now that's true in that sentence or statement, but the temperament, what their favorite color is, their likes and dislikes, I don't think that starts at conception. Because then everybody that was born to the same people, like the same mom and dad, would basically have the same things besides the looks and besides maybe genetic things, which be interesting to check a little bit deeper into that, to find out exactly when we pick up certain things, like when we could pick up the ailment of somebody, of a family member or a genetic thing, if we pick it up then, or if, I don't know. I don't know. Wow. But I do know that the temperament, I don't think starts right there at conception. And I think that the way we look, yeah, that starts, because those genes we're picking up. Some of us are picking up the 501, some of us are Wranglers, some of us are Lees. I'm a Levi girl, so you know what I'm saying? Lucky brand. I like them too. Obviously, I think that temperament is something that is our own to who we are, and it is more than just our DNA. It is outside as well. That's what I think about that. But anyway, let's continue on.
Point in particular, life begins. Not at birth, not at first words, not at first steps, but when your DNA, which is who you actually are. You are your DNA. Every one of your DNA cells is coded XX or XY. It's coded with all of your unique characteristics and attributes that we believe God individually curated for the rest of your life. That doesn't happen at 8 weeks or 10 weeks. It happens at conception.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you want to protect that from the moment of conception, and that is exactly what God has done, then when they become 18 or 19 years old, when they feel so uncomfortable in their own body because they feel like that's not the body they should have been born in, where are those rights protected? So that's my question. So we have on the argument, the first episode, we talked a little bit about the pronouns that people use. And I saw this. It was something that I scrolled up on, and I thought it was funny. So I'm just going to share it. It was, I think, from Joe Rogan. He said something about watching this video, and here it is.
Video up, because it's one of my favorite.
My pronouns aren't preferred, they are mandatory.
How the fuck am I supposed to know when I'm only meeting someone on the go and I'm not allowed to guess by how they look or how they dress or by what they got that's going on below? See, on this topic I'm a little gray. When meeting someone new, what do I say? Cause if I have to start our talk asking if you have a cock, then you're not my kind of person anyway. And just one more little thing before I'm gone. Respect is earned, it's not demanded in a song. If you wanna be a she or a they, a zer, a z, good for you, but you can't make me play along.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Charlie.
So what do you think,
I'm
guys?
not,
What do you think about all that shit? Anyway, guys, I figured I'd put something up here besides Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and seriously, some talk about what's going on. It doesn't, as long as we're not hurting others, we don't have to agree in everything that we say, but it's important to at least listen, and be open-minded. And if you can't do that, just scroll on or that's it. If you want to constructively engage in an argument about this, then that's another story, and there's a way to go about doing it. Unaliving somebody because of an opinion, as we know, that's not the way to do it, right? I mean, who won here? Seriously. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. I thank you so much again for allowing me to be part of your day. Be better today than you were yesterday, not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.